got LASIK, and considering doing it, highly recommend. Push yourself, you know, if you're on the fence, push yourself to the other side and go ahead and do it. I'm on the 16th hour now of my recovery, and this feels a lot better. But yeah, like the recovery is legit, and it doesn't last long. So the recovery is by far, I don't want to say by far, but definitely more noticeably the harder piece of all this. When you get out of the office, you're not really going to be able to see a whole heck of a lot. So I would suggest have a ride arranged or have somebody pick you up or whatever the case is. But I'm certain there's got to be some kind of legal implication about driving yourself home after doing something like that. Certainly they have to advise you, of course, not to do that. So the procedure, honestly, truly, I mean it. I'm not going to be one of the ones that kind of downplays it to try to not discourage you, or rather to make sure to encourage you to do something like this. I'm not going to downplay it. So initially when you first come in, it is definitely nerve-wracking because at least the clinic I went to, they sit you down in this lobby, this waiting area, and you can see the patients before you going in to get their procedure done. It's in this like fishbowl, if you will. The operating room is, the wall is glass. So you literally sit there and you watch. They call up one patient at a time. They lay down on this bed, gurney, whatever, two big old machines up above you, and they lay you down comfortably. They give you a blanket or maybe a teddy bear if you want. Put a little thing under your leg to help support your back, and they position you under one portion. And before we go any further, trust me, please rest assured, the whole procedure in itself is really not too bad at all. That is the truth. Most people will tell you that, oh, it's really not so bad, it's not so bad, it's not so bad. That is true. Think of your eyeball as kind of like, it's almost like it's taken out of the equation. You just don't feel it. They put a couple drops in your eye, and then you'll start to feel that your eyes just kind of like, man, it's just kind of a strange sensation. I've never been a fan of numbing and numbing medication, although I definitely would prefer to have it. So they put the numbing medication in your eye, you lay back, and then they swing this big old machine over your head. And, sorry, let me back up. So then after they numb your eye, you lay back, and they kind of get the machine kind of roughly in this area over here. And then the doctor says, okay, look down, look down. So you look down, and he's putting something on your eye. It is true. There are a couple various little contraptions they do put on your eye. It's exactly probably what you've seen, but God is my witness. Trust me, you kind of just don't mind. You barely, it's a little, it's a little scratchy. You feel it's kind of like a metallic type thing, but trust me, you don't notice it so much. Like I said, he tells you to look down, and he positions one part of it. He says, okay, now look up, put the other piece of it right there, and before you know it, you're just like, okay, we're done with that, and you're sitting there going like, holy crap, that's that thing. It's sitting there, it's on my eye, and it's like, it's not that bad. I don't know why. For some reason, I guess because the eye is completely kind of gone. Like I say, it's there obviously, but as far as any sensation, you feel nothing. So I don't know, for some reason you just don't mind that it's there. And then they put this sort of like donut kind of, I don't know, suction cup type deal over your eye. And I know this is gonna sound weird. It's gonna be very hard to kind of fathom this, but it literally feels kind of strangely, almost kind of comfortable. It fits like a glove. It just, boop, and it just sits right there, and you just, okay, yeah, I don't mind that at all. Then they swing the machine over, and then you go blank. It's black, it's dark, and there's like some lights. Or no, the first part, I think there's like a little ring of light, and he said, all right, now look through into that little ring, and just kind of focus your eye right in there. You sit there for maybe not even a minute, 30 seconds or so. You'll notice like it'll go a little blurry for just a little bit, and then it'll go, it'll be visible again, and then that's about it. Then they switch over to the other eye, they take out that stuff, and they apply it to the other eye. You kind of just don't mind. You barely notice it happening. You're laying back, and your sort of perspective, it feels like a weird dream. You're in this new place, it's dark, people are like talking to you, asking questions. Okay, what's your name? What's your date of birth? You know, blah, blah. Okay, which procedure are you looking to do? Make sure you decide that before you do the procedure, by the way. Make sure if they give you a choice between like, it was like distance and something else, because you'll see. Just ask your doctor about it. You don't want to be making the decision on that right then and there while you're laying down in that bed. You want to have a clear answer because you're going to be nervous. You're going to be kind of flustered. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So make sure you have that all settled before you get there. Anyway, so they lay you down. Once they finish with one eye, then they scoot over to the other side. And it's the same thing. And again, I can't iterate it enough. Your eyes are numb. You feel nothing. And you almost kind of don't notice it's going in. The doctor's like, okay, so focus your eye downward. He says, look down. And then, I don't know, he kind of positions it here. And I look up, he positions it here. And that's it. That little whatever contraption thingy is now in your eye. And you're laying back going like, oh, it's there. Like I'm that guy from that scene, that picture. Was it Clockwork Orange? Don't watch that movie. Okay, if you're about to have LASIK, do not watch that movie before you go get LASIK. Anyway, it's just gonna unnecessarily intimidate you. It will. So anyway, they do the procedure, they do that, and then they do that eye. You're not done yet. Now they swing the whole bed over to the other side, and this is where kind of the actual work happens, if you will. I can't remember if at this point you still, I think you still have the contraption. I can't remember now. Like I say, it was like a big weird ass dream. And so they lay you down on the next portion and they do one eye at a time. And so they bring this other machine over and it has this sort of telescope type thing that they put over the eye. And it applies just a little pressure, maybe a couple pounds or so, to make sure that it's really securely on there. And then that is where they apply that cold laser. It's a cold laser. Obviously don't feel it. Trust me, you don't feel it. You barely notice it's happening. You'll hear this weird tone, this sort of and the nurse will be okay, 5 seconds on that eye, and then they'll tell you to look at this little green LED or whatever, and you'll focus on that. Before you know it, now I will warn you, you're gonna smell an aroma, and it's not what you think. Like I'm weird. I thought it was gonna smell something along the lines of like, I don't know, like I don't want to say, but it smells like. I won't say what it smells like. It's not exactly a pleasant smell, but it's not super pungent. It's not super aromatic. It's just, you're going to notice it. Just be aware of that. You tell me in the comments, what do you think it smelled like if you're going to go get it? Yeah, it's a funky smell. So anyway, they do that and then they move over to the other eye. Now here's where it was a little rough for me. So for whatever reason, they had a hard time not finding a good fit on the eye, but sort of like this telescoping mechanism. He had me sort of move my head this way, then tilt it this way, then had me shift down in the bed and everything like that. And they're really trying to find just the right positioning for this eye here, which, as you can see, definitely took a little more of a beating than the other one. And if you look real closely, this eye here is a little more like shut, I suppose, than this one. I always notice the contact lens is a little harder to go into this eye. And unfortunately, they had a little trouble with this telescoping mechanism, and I started getting like kind of freaked out. I'm like, oh man, of course, I'm the most freaked out, most anxious guy in here, and of course there has to be some sort of problem with getting me all situated. Anyway, they got it on there, but the doctor was like, no, I want to make sure it's perfect. I want to make sure it's perfect. And they were having such a hard time finding my head in just the right place, getting this thing to align right. Well, eventually they press that telescoping mechanism thing on the eye and they add a little pressure, but on this eye, I kid you not, they put like, it's almost as if like they placed it on and then they just pressed it. Like I thought maybe like one of the nurses jumped on top of this mechanism, just sat on top of it, on top of my face. They put tremendous pressure on it, and I was laying there going, like enough, like that's enough pressure. And the doctor's, he's like, all right, you're doing fine, we're almost done, you're doing fine. Whatever, man. And he's like smashing this thing, this telescoping mechanism, whatever, into my eye. And I'm fine now, by the way, guys. I'm perfectly fine. It looks a lot worse than it is. It's a little scratchy, but I'm okay. But yeah, so that piece, just to prepare you, it was not expected. Anyway, it went great. They finished the procedure and all was said and done. and they sat me up very carefully, very gently. Took a little blanket off of me. It was kind of cold in the room. They offered me a blanket, you know, a little comfort or whatever. And I literally uttered the words, incredible, incredible. Like, it was, like I said, it just blew by like a weird dream. Everything is new, these big blocky machines in front of your face, all these weird lights, and you feel nothing. You feel some of those little contraptions, and I felt that pressure against my face there. But it's livable, it's doable, and at the end of the day, highly recommend, guys, do it. If there's any like if you're on the fence, if you're anxious, very normal, 100% normal. We're built with, it's a survival thing that we're built with as human beings. We've had it for tens of thousands of years. It's just now it's a little more irrational. We're kind of still stuck with that fight or flight reaction to the unknown. You've never done it before. And it's, I highly recommend also, do not under any circumstance watch a video on YouTube on a Lasik procedure. That's my personal recommendation, because you're gonna see exactly what they do. And it's pretty amazing. It's also pretty daunting, and I did it to alleviate anxiety, and I feel like it did the exact opposite. I would highly advise, don't watch it. Do not watch it, because they're doing a lot of stuff. They're doing some interesting stuff to your eye there. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you're considering doing it, highly recommend. Push yourself, you know, if you're on the fence, push yourself to the other side and go ahead and do it. I'm on the 16th hour now of my recovery, and this feels a lot better. But yeah, like, the recovery is legit. And it doesn't last long. So the recovery is by far, I don't want to say by far, but definitely more noticeably the harder piece of all this. And so you'll be done with the procedure. You will not be able to see all that great. You will see, but the best way I can describe it is it will feel kind of like you have a layer of Vaseline over your eyes. So you can see-ish, but no detail whatsoever. So if, for example, you have a ride set up to get you home, and you need to dial the numbers on your phone to call that person, you won't be able to do it. The nurses, the folks at the desk, they were super friendly, super helpful, and I asked them, hey, could you help me out, help me call my ride? And of course they arranged it, and always good to go. Do not attempt to drive. If you have this done, do not attempt to drive, please. It will be a mistake for you and for others. So please don't drive. When you get home, you're gonna have to start using various eye drops, and trust me, you're gonna wanna do that. Oh, Lord help me, you're gonna wanna do that. Because your eyes will be dry, they're gonna be scratchy. It just feels better. But they're also gonna give you, I'm gonna cover the actual, they're gonna give you this. This is, I'm not gonna say what it is. It's a steroidal medication. It's eye drops, and they go in the eye, of course. It burns. Okay, just gonna be honest, it burns. It burns. The first one that I did it as soon as I got home, because I want the healing process to get rolling like ASAP. I want to return back to normal as quickly as possible. And at that point, the numbing medication is still effective. It's still working. So when you do the drops, at that point, you will kind of feel a good kind of tingle sensation. It's a little uncomfortable, but not too bad. You take it every 5 hours, so 5 hours later, I took it again. At that point, the numbing medication has now worn off. And oh my Lord, does it burn. So keep that in mind. Be brave, you'll be all right. I did it, you can do it. It burns. Just gotta be honest. I won't say exactly what it feels like. It lasts maybe a few minutes, maybe about 5 minutes or so. And but it's significant. So just be ready for that. I would, of course, highly advise do it prior to maybe a weekend or a couple of days where you have just nothing going on. You have no responsibilities, no chores, no whatever, no work, no schoolwork, especially schoolwork for those of you that are doing school. You will not want to look at screens. You will not want to look at like fine print, text or writing or mathematics, whatever you're doing. If you're engineering students, computer students, scripting, stuff like that, you will not want to do that. Your eyes will constantly fight you because it hates sunlight. or any kind of light, blue light, screen light, whatever. So please anticipate that you will not be able to watch movies. You'll not be able to, watch your favorite YouTube video or skits or whatever. You will not be able to do that. I got an audiobook and I read a couple of books. What did I do? It's called The Troop. It's a horror. It's a body horror, something like this. Odd, weird, strange, if you like that kind of stuff. I had to select one. I picked one and there it is. And then I read another book as well. I forget the title, but it's by an autistic therapist. And I do have mild autism myself. Obviously, you'll never see it. You can't see it again because it's mild. But that person has some wonderful. It's a Kaylin. I'll put it in the comments or description, whatever. Wonderful stuff. So anyway, that kind of stuff helps get you through it without having to focus on a screen. You can look at your phone just very briefly. At least you kind of like set it up. But don't be expecting to stare at your screen or watch a movie. Trust me, you just won't be able to. And you won't really be able to see a whole lot much of anything anyway. But do it. You got to do it. Get in there and do it and be rewarded with not having to wear these ever again, not having to do your contact lenses, not having to, worry about dropping them, scratching them, or whatever, eye doctor stuff or whatever. It's worth it, guys. So, all right, cool. Hope you enjoy your weekend. Happy holiday, by the way, for those that celebrate.